girls, we are back now for round 8 of the Savior 6 Racing League here at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix around the Baku City Circuit. First raced at in 2016. Relatively new circuit on the calendar. Also one of the longer circuits on the calendar. 6.0 kilometers, 3.7 miles, 26 lap race. One of the main features is the tight 8-meter wide track cutting through the castle. The old castle through the old town of Baku. Also a 2-kilometer, 1.25 mile flat out straight with a little kink in it. About half of that with DRS available. 75% of your lap here will be spent at full throttle. We'll pause the game, try to get our sound back here. As the first driver on track, already a yellow flag in Sector 1. Don't know if that's an incident, just somebody driving slowly, but Cobalt out early. As we watch the drivers come around, looks like one of the Haas's. Don't know if he got damage. Appears to be all right. Hopping back on with Vapor though. We will go for a lap here around the circuit with the racing point. If y'all give me 1 minute, just have a couple things to sort out while we watch him go around to start his first qualifying lap here. Here's that 8 meter wide section only, barely enough for him to get 2 normal cars past. Definitely nowhere near enough for him to get 2 of these cars coming through at like 80 miles an hour. And here comes Vapor Cobalt coming down the front straightaway, starting his run, hitting 345 to 350 kilometers an hour as you go into that hard braking zone in turn 1, hooking it around a lot of very slow, high traction areas here. We are using the softest tire compounds here as well. The soft tires will only last about 9 laps. It won't matter much in qualifying 1, but qualifying 2 here today, that is where you'll need to focus on trying to save some of your tire life. But Vapor Cobalt so far with a pretty good lap, so it looks pretty clean. Trying to utilize the curbs as much as possible here. Just want to have a very safe, clean lap here in Q1. Make sure you get the time on the board. Very easy to DNF here. Taking that turn very beautifully. We hop on board inside. You can see how tight it is through here. As you come around the corner too, the sun right in your eyes. Hard to keep your eyes focused on the road there, and very easy to lose traction. Lose sight of where you're trying to go. Here, towards the end of Sector 2 at the bottom of the hill. Very good there. It's easy to hit that inside curb, jump your car, and lose all sorts of downforce, not be able to stop your car. It's a 1:14.8 as you've come into this final sector, which is basically just a flat-out run to the line, especially in these cars. The normal car, not even close. DRS opening up right after turn 20 here. Through the kink as we watch him fly down the front straightaway. What's the time going to be? Vapor Cobalt with the first lap on the board. It's a 1:39.0. A very good lap from Vapor Cobalt, showing you how to get it done here. Chief Chris getting the Ferraris getting very good slipstream on one another there. Sohan Matthew and Chief Chris going P3 and 4 until Knowing Light puts a 1:39.8 on the board. Revis Island still currently in the pits. We'll see if we can get a weather report from him as per usual. Currently, many drivers still yet to set a lap. Few drivers not as fast as they would probably want to be. JST going wide, getting off the racing line, out of the driver's way. As we wait for Revis to join our party here. try to get a hold of him and see what the conditions are like. Opening up the full track map, looks pretty clear so far, but every driver currently out on the lap. So we get a hold of Rivas, still in the pits, not going out yet. Rivas, what's the conditions looking like for practice in the race?
Quality in the race, it looks like it's going to be dry for both. It's going to be a little bit overcast for a race, but other than that, it looks like it's going to be dry.
All right. Well, that's good to hear. Good luck today.
Yep.
Thanks for the update.
Finally, no rain for once.
Oh! Prince hits the lap on his hot lap. Doesn't look like he got very much wing damage there. We'll have to see if he goes right for another lap. Actually, Chief Chris currently not moving. Hopefully doesn't get DSQ'd here for being parked in a dangerous location. Not an ideal location there for him to be at. But Granny Boy is coming through. He's going to have a lot of traffic on the circuit right now. Chief Chris looks like he may be out of gas right now. Yep, he is out of fuel at the moment. Jay Kelly with a 140.5 for the Alfa Romeo team. Decent lap from him. Knight Katzy, 140.36. Hopping on board with Ricky Starr in the Mercedes. Coming through towards the end of Sector 2, we have yellow flags in Sectors 1, 2, and 3 right now. Looks like just mainly drivers trying to get out of the way, going very slowly around the circuit. There's not a lot of room on some of these parts, so definitely have to take it very carefully. Ricky Starr coming through the final little chicane here. Easy flat out, especially with no damage. Once you start damaging your car, if you have a little bit of wing loss, it's going to be very tricky to get through there. You'll have to get very close to the walls and just absolutely nail it. But you have a lot of room for error in these cars with the amount of downforce they provide. Ricky Starr goes P3 overall. We hop on board D2E Kronos. Coming across the line, and it's P3 for D2E. Nice little rhyme there. It'd be nice to see him start the race there. P4 in Monaco for him before having some troubles during the race. But getting his first points of the season was D2E. In that Alfa. Hopefully can keep that up and convert a good qualifying position here today, hopefully, to a podium, potentially, for the Alfa Romeo team. Definitely in desperate need of points. Currently last with only 15 total points. 33% of their points coming from that last race in Monaco by D2E. The remaining points coming from one fifth place result earlier in the season for the Alfa Romeo team. Other than that, it's been a very, very tough season for them. So the racing points on top of the leaderboards, currently 1-2, but Granny Boy goes faster, even hitting the wall on his flying lap, is able to go 138.4. That should be plenty enough to get him through. So Walker has invalidated his lap, still does not have a time on the board, only 8 minutes and 40 seconds remaining on the clock. Wing looks fine. It might be another hot lap attempt here. Looks like he's going to be going on a run to the line. He's trying to build up all that pace here. Tiburon James with a 144 two-lap old tires. Few drivers on outlaps. Bray Train, Rivas on outlaps, along with Hash. All three still yet to set a time. Walker on 2-lap old soft tires right now. Must have 2 invalidations. So he's still trying to look to set a time here. Coming through the first 2 turns. Slows up quite a bit. I don't think he was happy with that lap as he moves out of the way here. Walker has yet to set a lap, P19. We'll have to see if he can get a lap on the board. Hopping on board with Hash, coming out of the pits here. Going to be going for a hot lap. Bray Train leading this group. Bray Train, Rivas, and Hash all in a line coming out of Sector 2. All going to be starting a flying lap. We'll hop on board with Bray Train, subbing in the AlphaTauri tonight for the podium finisher of Purple Catfish in Monaco. Very good result for Purple Catfish. Let's see if Bray Train can continue the success for AlphaTauri, moving up 1 spot in the Constructors, 36 total points, only 8 points behind the Haas team in 7th. He is going into the pits, though. He must have damaged some wing. Bray Train pits without running a lap here. We'll hop back on board with Revis, who should be going for a lap now. DRS open, going very wide, so you can get the tight turn into here, into turn 1. Then another short little burst of speed before you go slowly into turn 2. Then get the traction down as early as possible. Get it in a straight line. You have another very long run on a normal track. Not as long here, comparing it to the front stretch. But this back stretch run, it's a lot of 90-degree curves on this circuit. Built completely out of city roads, especially paved through the capsule section. Normally, that's brick and cobblestone, but these cars need an ideal amount of traction. These cars on cobblestones were not, they'd be tearing those cobblestones out, let's just say. As you saw last in 2019, George Russell running over a manhole cover. The manhole cover was not welded down, and it ended up just getting sucked straight out. The amount of downforce and lift these cars are moving, the amount these cars move the air is just insane. It's basically like an airplane that sticks to the ground instead of going up. But it lifts the manhole cover straight out. And if you've ever tried to lift up a manhole cover, very difficult thing to do. That's why they go around, weld all the manhole covers down here. Thankfully, only in practice. Revis taps the wall, loses a bit of that front end plate. We'll have to see if he can finish his lap here. It doesn't look very good, not compared to Cobalt. It's a 1:16.1. Cobalt was at a 1:14.8 through there, so he's already 1.3 down on Cobalt. But he might not need that quick of a time to get through here. We'll see. It looks like he's going to try to push through and try to finish the lap with the damaged wing. Revis coming to the line. Where's it going to put him? Only P9 for Revis, and then Hash also coming across the line. Where's he going to be? P11, just behind Revis by 0.03 of a second. Currently on the bubble, though, JST crashed out of the session. We didn't catch that, but he will not be advancing in P16. Tiburon James on an out lap, as well as Bray Train, Walker, and Prince, who have yet set laps. The cutoff right now by Draco, who is also on an out lap, is a 1:42.1. A big gap to HMF Ethan then, with a 1:41.0. So these last few cars are going to be battling it out to try to improve and get up a little bit more to safety here. Ethan finishing one of his laps here, I believe. He might be on a hot lap right now. Looking at his time, nope, he's 2 seconds down on his current time. Owen Wilson coming out of the pits. As Bray Train starts his hot lap attempt.
Hey, sugar, 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 emoji blowing kiss.
Bray Train and Walker.
Emoji
Walker still not starting the lap.
Kiss.
Bray Train, a little bit of a struggle there, trying to find that correct point to turn in.
Emoji blowing kiss.
Oh, a little bit of oversteer there, putting the power down a little bit early, causing that back end to just step out a bit. It's a very tricky track here. As the slow speeds, it's a lot harder to get traction down. As you come through some of these very slow speeds, these cars want to go fast. They don't go so well when they're going slow. They won't. Oh, and he goes very wide there. Not ideal for Bray Train. I'm going to assume he's going to be abandoning this lap. We'll see what his Sector 2 time is, but I would assume he's going to be going for another lap. I'm trying to see if there's any wing damage right now. Doesn't appear to me any wing damage. If it is very minor. But only 3 minutes left. He's not going to have time to pit, change the wing, and get back out there for another lap. So if he wants to go for a hot lap, he's going to have to do it right now. Hopefully he has enough fuel in the tank. Prince on an out lap now. Walker is on his flying lap as well. Has not invalidated yet. Coming through the second left to right portion, the first true chicane style section of the circuit. Coming to the end of Sector 1, it's a 34.9 for Walker, a pretty good time. He just has to make sure he gets a time on the board here. An invalidation is definitely not what he wants to see. Bray Train does finish his lap, but it's only 16th. Unable to beat his teammate. Teammate still clear with a 1:42.1 in 5th position. Walker is still showing it as a clean lap right now. Prince beginning his lap as well. Yellow flag showing in Sector 1, but he looks like he's going clean right now. Walker coming to the hard left. Keeps it on the track. He didn't hit the wall like we saw Rivas and Granny Boy do earlier. And then just a long run to the line, a 1:14.9. So as long as he keep it on the circuit, it should be plenty fast enough here to get him into Q2. The Williams opening the DRS as you come out of turn 20. And then the drag down to the line here. What's it going to be for Walker? P3, a 1:39.0. He definitely wants to be out ahead of third there, but he's got to be very happy to at least get the time on the board, especially as time's closing down. Rivas down to 13th position right now. He could be in a bit of trouble with some of the drivers out on the track right now. Drivers starting to retire, though, knowing they're safe. Only 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining in this qualifying session. Currently on the bubble, HMF Ethan is in the pits. He's not going to be able to set another lap time here. So HFME Ethan is going to really be hoping that these drivers behind him do not improve. Prince coming through here on his first lap attempt, hopefully putting a time on the board that gets him out of the bottom. He may have enough to go for another hot lap here. It's currently valid on this lap. It looks like it's going to be fast enough. No, it's P17. It's P17, and he's not going for another lap. He slows down. So he is not going for another lap. Draco is 1.4 down on his fastest lap. So I don't think he will be improving either. So it's going to come down to Tiburon James here to try to knock off HFM Ethan. Draco not going fast enough, but maybe going for a hot lap here. Tiburon James is on his out lap, so he won't be able to start a lap. So it's going to be only RV Draco who can beat him. Prince already 1.4 down on his time. So if RV Draco is going for a lap here, but it doesn't appear so. It's saying he's 2.6 seconds down on his fastest lap. And I think that means HFM Ethan is gonna secure a spot in Q2 by the skin of his teeth. The drivers behind not able to put together a lap. Draco running wide there, damaging some wing, but HMF Ethan gonna definitely be securing a spot here. Cobalt appeared to have left the session, but he is back now. Granny Boy, though, goes fastest with a 1:38.3. We'll be going on to Q2 shortly. Hopefully it lets Cobalt retake control of his car once we start the Q2 session here. But everybody still appears to be here. Rivas still going for a hot lap here. Draco is showing only 7/10 down in his time. I don't think he's going to be able to make up 1.5 seconds, though, in it just going in a straight line. We'll hop on board and see. But I don't believe he will be able to improve on his time. DRS open, down to the line here. And it's not fast enough. It's a 1:42.4 for Draco. We saw him hit the wall. If he had not hit the wall, he might have been good. But that definitely now secures the Red Bull of HFM Ethan subbing for El Capitano tonight for the Red Bull team. Granny Boy carrying the load right now for them. Bookending the session, P1, P15 for the Red Bull drivers. Owen Wilson, one of the new full-time Haas drivers, looking to rebound after a DNF in Monaco. And Rivas Isling does get out of Q1 this time after being eliminated in Q1 in Monaco. Something we really didn't expect, but he seems to really be struggling in the qualifying sessions right now. P13 and a P16 in Q1 the last two races. Brogan doubling his point total from the previous race in Monaco, getting 2 points up to P12. He is into Q2. Going to be trying to get through to Q3 though. Hash gets a solid time on the board. The Ferraris within 1/10 of a second from one another. As we wait for Tiburon James to retire from the session. 20 seconds and the session will automatically end. But we are waiting for Tiburon James to retire and HFM Ethan. Once they retire, we will be able to advance here. At Tiburon James, please retire from the session. At Tiburon James, please retire from the session. Hey, are you guys stuck looking at Tiburon James?
Well, it's finished now at 1 second.
Yeah, it's Tiburon
What's
James.
going
He's the
on?
one who always breaks all the lobbies. He's the reason it never didn't start in Monaco.
He's probably using his phone.
You
as
don't need to
fucking
restart the
Wi-Fi.
lobby. There's no need to. He just needs to retire.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
Well, if at the start of the race, if it's not started, we need to have him leave because he's the one. The reason the races don't start. The 2 times the races didn't start, it was because of him. I don't know what's going on with the connection.
What they're playing at.
I
Yeah, we
messaged him, and I said it on broadcast too, so I don't know what's going on right now. He needs to. I don't know what he thinks is going on.
Yeah. No, that's fair
He's
enough.
lost connect. He's probably lost connection. That's why he's not responding to me.
Oh, but he's out of fuel, so it's gonna take him even longer to get back to the circuit.
Maybe
Well,
it'll make him
no,
pit.
because he crossed the line with 0.
If it's AI, it might make him pit.
No, it's
No, well,
It just says outlap.
It's
Even when
not
they're
a.
not-
He needs to. I messaged in Discord. I mean, if he's gonna have these issues, he really can't race because it breaks the lobby. He needs to retire from session, but if he's not gonna,
Especially when it comes to a race, because everybody gets fresh sets when some people like save some sets.
well, yeah.
for
If the lobby, if the race doesn't start and you guys are all frozen there, don't leave. Would make him leave because
It's
once
fine.
he leaves, it'll
If
start.
there's a,
It don't
works
say
out.
Monaco.
If
It
you
don't
got
say
yeah,
Monaco.
yeah, and it
Just
was
tap.
Tiburon James. When you watch Revis's stream back, as soon as Tiburon leaves, you guys, everybody started.
Go on, just drive to the left. Drive to the-
where is he? That's what I'm trying to understand. Like,
The pits, mate. Just-
I don't
just-
know.
just-
He's not
he's-
answering
he's not going
Discord.
straight round again.
I'll shoot him a message on PS.
okay.
Maybe he'll see that.
He's going
Yeah.
round again. Look, he's just gone round. He's got no fuel. Look at him. Look at him. He's
You gotta be shitting me.
I know, and he has low fuel. Like,
Yeah, man.
mate.
Like, what is he doing? Does he
watching
just
the guy going?
not
watching
know?
the
Like,
guy
what's he
move.
watching? Is he just watching himself?
No, he's clearly lost connection. He's lost connection. I mean,
No, I think he's
Yeah.
just sitting there watching himself. I just sent him a PS message now because he's not responding on Discord.
Well, if it
Why did
didn't
you
end
say
on
that?
that last lap, I don't know.
Well,
when
no, it's
gonna
not going to end unless he retires, I think, because he's glitched. He's the one who always breaks the lobby.
Well, what do we do?
He's the one that needs to do something. None of us can do anything. We're all
Yeah.
finished. It's him. He
Well,
either
maybe
needs to
maybe
leave-
the weather will change. Maybe the weather's going to get nice and rainy now because you guys are waiting here for
Excuse me?
30 minutes. The weather forecast is
I
going
did
to
see it
change.
got cloudy. Oh.
Wait,
Oh, wait.
what's happened? What's happened?
Wait, what?
He just like.
Oh, it says pit
his
now.
car just, like-
It says pit. It says pit, so he's going in the pits.
No,
It doesn't
it's-
say
I tell
on
you,
the
it's a
broadcast screen.
funny
It
looking
says
pit.
pit.
That's probably because he was hit his front
Finally
wheel.
making
What
pit.
the hell? He has like the pit lane limiter on. Because that's what's on his wheel.
He's probably broken. He's probably not connected to the same lobby as us. That's why it's probably going to break
Tell
for
me
the
to
start of the
leave
race.
Session. Well, tell me to leave.
I think a lot of the guys have told him to leave and done well.
Nice, not even here yet.
What is going on?
Why is the yellow flags? Yellow flags up to 1, 2.
Oh wait, you can see him on the. I can see him on the track map. He's closing in on the pits now. Oh no, wait, he's
didn't
staying
go
out.
on
No,
track.
he didn't go in the pits. He stayed out on track.
No.
Why does that have to happen at 1:30 in the morning?
Come on, dude. Yeah, we're gonna have to have him work on his connection issues. I don't know if he can race with that.
It's bloody 1:30 in the morning, guys. At this point, I'm not going to be bloody. I'll fit until about half
I'm not
4.
being funny. Monaco, what was it? 4 o'clock in the morning by the time we finished that bit.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start the race based on the inverse of the driver standings.
Okay, I'll take
Yeah,
that.
I'll say that all day.
It's going to run out about
See, the
2
thing
minutes.
is, it's not even like you can get everybody to go and do a full quality and the bottom 5 to retire straight away. Because either way, somebody else is going to go out.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's not going to be in the lobby. It's fucked.
Yeah.
Dude, just
Are
leave.
we going to set up a new quality section?
No.
Oh,
He's in Discord. He's in Discord. I see him in Discord now.
One thing you guys forget is that you have a very professional crasher among you. That is a commentator that can drive, so you know.
Well, I think we're good
If we really need someone to retire and replace Tiburon James, you know, I can do it. You know.
Chris loves an Ethernet plug. Sorry, he's in the bathroom. Mate, you must have having some monster shit.
But yeah, guys, if the race doesn't start, don't back out. We'll just need to have him leave, and we should start.
Okay.
So, rather than remaking the whole race.
You also maybe Cobalt could hold this lobby up as well.
Yeah.
Time
Yeah.
through there as well. That's good saying.
Oh, hello. Who's a robot?
Some caffeine rush now.
E.T., you wanna go home? E.T.
Sorry, I was in the bathroom. Oh my god. Retire from the session before you go to the bathroom. Why do you go? You go out on track and then just go to the bathroom? Like, come on. All right. Good luck, guys. Alright, and after that little glitch in the game, typical from these Codemaster games, we are now going to be starting Q2. Now that Tiburon James has returned from the bathroom and has retired from the session, we now have the drivers going out on track, led out by D2E Kronos. Q2, gonna be starting the race on whatever tire you set your fastest lap on in this session. The bottom 5 drivers will be eliminated, and they will have free choice of tires, but the people who do advance to Q3 will have to start the race on the tire they set their fastest lap on. And tire wear is definitely a pretty big issue here, with softs only going about 9 laps with a brand new set, so you have to think out lap, hot lap, in lap here. Getting to take at least 2 to 3 laps of tire life out of that tire. So definitely going to be hoping on a safety car towards the start of the race. Medium's about 16 laps, and then hard's about 20. So you can go soft to medium, but it is definitely a very risky strategy. You're going to need at least a couple safety cars to try to pull that off with any success. The ideal strategy here is going to be soft to hard, or mediums, starting on them, trying to pull ahead, and then having that leeway to go to the hards or the soft tire. Mediums about 1.1 seconds slower than the soft tires, though. The hards are about 1.7 seconds slower than the soft tire. So a pretty big pace advantage here for the softs. But we'll have to see. Most drivers, we'll pull up the menu real quick, and most drivers out on mediums, only Hash, Nightcatsy, Owen Wilson, and HMF Ethan are out on the soft tires, and only Granny Boy is still in the pits. Everybody else out on an out lap right now. But yeah, we'll hop on board here, D2E Kronos, as we invite Mooks in here for Q2. Mooks, how you doing?
I'm doing well, and you yourself?
I am not bad. A little bit of an issue there towards the end of Q1. One of the drivers did have to poop, could not find the pull-off to get to the restroom, so kept driving around looking to see if any stalls were open, but eventually did find one, and he has returned to the garage and is safe, I can say.
Oh, our job is never uneventful, that's for sure.
So we watched D2E. He's obviously purple through the first sector, as he is the only driver to go through the first sector so far. Coming down here into the castle sections, turn 8 through 12 in this tight little section. Setting up the exit here, you want to get as far right as possible, as he invalidates there over the inside curb, just a bit too far, an invalidated lap for D2E Kronos. Sohan and Owen Wilson behind him. Sohan on an invalidated lap, but Owen Wilson is currently on a valid lap right now. Rivas on the last of the first 14 to be starting a hot lap. Granny Boy just getting out of the pits now. Hopefully it doesn't get in anybody's way. Waiting for everybody to pretty much go past. Owen Wilson with purple Sector 2 as the only driver through Sector 2. Not the quickest lap right now, but with everybody on the medium tires, it could prove to be fast enough, or the other drivers will have to switch. Let's see what Owen Wilson sets as his baseline time here. DRS open. Down to the end of this never-ending straightaway, 2 kilometers long. It's a 1:42.0 for Owen Wilson. I definitely think he can go faster than that. Granny Boy getting out of driver's ways as we wait for everybody else to come here across the line. Chief Chris with a 1:17.7 through the first 2 sectors. And he is going into the pits. Seeing his lap time was probably not going to be fast enough. We have the Mercedes coming in here as well. Jay Kelly, what's his time going to be? It's P3 for Jay Kelly. P4 for Ricky Star right now, 1:41.7. Night Catsy, Night Catsy crashes going into the pits, but his tire stayed on the car. Oh, that was very, very close to Night Catsy's qualifying session being over without setting a lap. Whether that was lag or not, it didn't appear to be lag. We saw both M plates flying in the air as we switched to him. Hash going P3 in the Renault, a 1:40.7 on the soft tires. Some of the later drivers to come out are now going to be coming around here. Brogan Morris coming across the line on the medium tires, P8. P7 actually, the Haas driver's not very good right now. And Knowing Light has crashed out in the castle section. That's a crash for Knowing Light. Hopefully his car is out of the way. Granny Boy is coming on a hot lap right here, right now. Ghosting is on, so he should be ghosted, as one of the Mercedes does go through him, so there is space there. But Granny Boy has traffic in front, and he, I believe, might have abandoned his lap here. Traffic in front of Granny Boy affecting his lap. He's not going to want to try to do 2 laps on these softs, as they do not last long as it is. Rivas goes P6 on the mediums. So currently a few drivers, not with very quick times on the mediums, definitely can probably be beaten by some of these drivers on the soft tires. As Granny Boy is being held up by his teammate, HFM Ethan, it appears. A 1:19.1 for Granny Boy. That's not fast enough on these soft tires. We'll have to see. I would assume he's going into the pits here for a new set of soft tires. D2E Kronos, Chief Chris, and Night Catsy all back on out laps after abandoning their flying laps. And yes, Granny Boy is going into the pits here. Strap on a new set of softs or potentially a set of mediums. Going with a little bit of a risky strategy. Ricky Star, though, with a 1:40.4, setting 2 laps on those medium tires, is able to split Cobalt and Walker for the time being, but all you have to do is be in that top 10 and you will be advancing. Knowing Light currently holding that spot, but he has crashed out, and I would assume Granny Boy will be able to go faster than a 1:41.1. We'll hop back on board. D2E Kronos. All out on the medium tire once again. P14 going to be trying to set a fast lap here. Diving down behind the McLaren of Rivas, trying to get that slipstream. Walker has retired from the session after setting a very quick time. A 139.1, I can basically guarantee his safety. Knowing the pace he needs, he got the lap he needed. He'll be starting the race on the medium tires. So we watch D2E swimming through these chicanes. Definitely very hard on the traction. Traction control off, you can easily spin your car out if you give it just a little bit too much power. Watch D2E try to squeeze up through this castle section. Gets through it decently well. Looking like a very good lap so far for D2E. He has not invalidated in the same spot he did last time. So just a couple turns to go and then a long run down to the line for D2E. Kronos coming down the hill to the end of Sector 2. Let's see what his time is right now. A 1:16.4. It's a decent enough time. Saying purple Sector 2. Don't know if I believe it or not. But coming through here, down this flat out section, 1.25 miles of foot to the floor, fast as you can go action. I think just about anybody could probably do this part of the F1 track. Hold the wheel in a straight line, and Kronos goes 140.6, moving him up to 7th position. Probably not where he wants to be on those medium tires. Only 6 minutes left in Q2. Now this is where drivers have to determine, do you want to risk it and go out on those soft tires, start on the non-ideal tire? Or do you want to just secure an 11th or 12th place, have free choice of tire? You can start on a brand new set of tires for the race. Or try to push it and get into that Q3 session and maybe start 8th or 10th on an old set of tires. Mooks, what would you be trying to qualify on here? Would you be trying to push on the mediums or push on the softs to get into Q3 for that chance of being up in the top 6?
I really don't think it's worth it for someone that is like maybe like a Jay Kelly or like a someone that isn't necessarily completely up there. I think it might be in their best ideal to maybe go onto a medium and kind of push a little bit, but as you said, you've been saying all weekend, you know, super high tire degradation, so you know you want to maximize your ability in the race to go long.
Definitely, these slow turns put a lot of wear on these tires, trying to slow these cars down and then rotating through these turns, trying to put the power down. Definitely a rear traction limited circuit. Your rear tires will give out before your fronts do here. You don't need a whole lot of downforce. Just mainly need that to try to cause the car to bite and turn in. As we watch HFM Ethan, who I've never been able to say his name right, coming through up to the castle section. We've already seen one driver crash in there today. Knowing Light still holding that 10th place spot right now. As we see Nightcatsy, Brogan, and Jay Kelly all out on outlaps on the soft tire. As Granny Boy goes back into the pits off those medium tires. You wonder if there was some sort of contact once again. Granny Boy, though, without a time on the board right now. Oh, and HMF Ethan has invalidated his lap. Ricky Star on an outlap on the soft tires. His fastest lap currently on those medium tires. For some reason, going out on the softs, P3 right now, I guess he doesn't think a 140.4 is going to be safe to get him through. I would imagine it is, but he is going out on the soft tires, so very interesting to see what his strategy is here.
Yeah, honestly, I'm watching Brogan to see if anything happens because I'm kind of excited.
Owen Wilson on the soft tires goes a 140.5. Hash with a 139.7 on the softs, pushing some of these medium runners all the way down. So a lot of them still in the pits. D2E Kronos in the pits, Revis in the pits, Sohan in the pits, all qualifying on the medium tires. Jay Kelly is currently out on a flying lap on the soft tires. As he actually, I just believe, just finished a lap on those. No, he is starting his lap. Sorry about that. Jay Kelly starting a hot lap here on the soft tires, so we can imagine he will be improving here. Brogan Morris on a hot lap on these soft tires as well. As Revis and so on see the times, and they are coming out of the pits, waiting on to see if D2E Cronus is going to come out. Currently, the man on the bubble with only 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. These drivers will have one hot lap attempt here to save themselves as D2E is bumped down in the order. I'm not quite sure who I saw move up there. Believe it was Knight Catsy moving up into P6 after the soft tire run. Granny Boy on an outlap on the medium tires. He's going to have one opportunity here. If he has enough fuel in his car, he will have 2 laps. But definitely very risky going out on those medium tires. We see Rivas and Sohan on their outlaps, both on those soft tires. So they're going to be pushing to try to get in here. D2E Kronos coming out of the pits now. He will have one attempt at a flying lap. Hopefully getting out of the way here. Granny Boy starting his hot lap. D2E does get out of the way. He's going to try to hang on to Granny Boy, but don't want to take too much life out of these tires. HFM Ethan still in the pits right now on those soft tires. And Vapor Cobalt in 8th is on an outlap on medium tires once again. So he thinks he can go fast enough to improve on the medium tires here. You only get 1 set, so he's just taking life out of these mediums. As he is down to 9th position now. Walker's lap on the mediums, the only one, still P1, but all the other drivers able to go faster on those soft tires. This is very interesting. Some very good drivers not in to Q3 right now, Mooks. Rivas, Granny Boy, Cobalt, all looking very, very worse for wear here. D2E Kronos qualified 4th in Monaco, and he is also out of the Q3 session right now, knowing Light crashed out on his own accord. But we'll have to see some very, very intense laps coming up here.
Yeah, Granny Boy now coming around like the last actual turn before, or second last actual turn before, you know, the main straight. So, should be interesting.
His time, a 1:14.9 at the end of Sector 2, and then it's just basically a straight run. Should be fast enough here for Granny Boy to get him out of the bottom 10. And it is. It's P1, a 1:39.0 for Granny Boy, but had to do a few extra laps on those medium tires. Hop on board with Sohan. Sohan and Rivas both still on valid laps along with D2E Kronos. Cobalt is also on his hot lap here on the medium tires. Got to watch out for traffic here. Jay Kelly getting well out of the way. Up in P3, Jay Kelly should be safe. He will be advancing to the Q3 session here. We watch Sohan nail that final sector. It's going to be coming down to the line here. Can Sohan go fast enough? Can Rivas, can D2E go fast enough to secure a spot in Q3? Sohan down to the line, as straight as you like. P3 for Sohan, hopping on board with Rivas. Where's he going to be? P5 for Rivas. So we watch Kronos and Cobalt still trying to get out of the bottom. Chris has been eliminated with those laps. Owen Wilson in the Haas, currently the driver on the bubble, 2 milliseconds behind his teammate of Brogan Morris in 9th. But both of them can be eliminated if Cobalt and Kronos can go faster than a 1:40.0. Cobalt coming down to the line. Can he go fast enough? Just about a 1:39.9 gets Cobalt out of the bottom. And only D2E Kronos is left. Will Brogan hang on? Will he fall out? I think D2E is going to have this. Kronos coming down to the line on those soft tires. P14 right now. Where's he going to get up to? Coming to the line. It never gets there quick enough. It's going to be P6 for Kronos. He knocks out the Haas drivers, both eliminated in the last 30 seconds of the qualifying session. Granny Boy finishing his lap. We wait for him to retire from session, and we will be advancing. But Ricky Star hangs on by the skin of his teeth. P10 through P13 separated by 0.08 of a second, showing just how close that bubble was. Some drivers just barely missing out, and only three drivers starting on the medium tires here. Cobalt just getting in. Probably a little bit of nerves there for Cobalt on that final lap, but he's able to get it done, making it in by under 0.1 of a second. Walker and Granny Boy leading the field, though, on those medium tires. Granny's a couple laps older than Walker's, though. May play into the race strategy.
Yeah, must I say that Brogan and Owen, the 2 Haas drivers going out in Q2, a little surprising, but they're both going to get that free choice of tires. Going on to that medium, we'll have to see if they can jump some people, as well as Knowing Light in 15th.
Yeah, be very interesting to see how far Knowing Light can get up the field here. After getting a podium, his first of the season in Monaco, qualifying only in P15. And Rivas told us there was no rain, but I definitely see some rain now. There is some rain on the circuit. I wonder if it's going away or coming at the moment. We'll have to see what the drivers are going to do here.
I think everyone's going out on the softs. It doesn't look that hard.
A rainy Q3. It may be. We may see all the drivers racing to get out here for a hot lap, as we see every driver coming out of the pits at the same time. What a sight to see! All these Formula One cars. We'll see if anybody stays in. And yes, every single car is coming out right now. The rain must be coming. So everybody's trying to get out on a hot lap. This may be the only chance you have to set a fast lap if the rain's going to be increasing. It'll be very interesting to see. You definitely don't want to TSQ your lap here.
No, definitely not.
This puts a lot of pressure on these drivers.
You can see some people already racing to just try to get to the front of this pack.
Yeah, Walker currently holding the position. But these drivers got to be very careful. You don't want to damage your wing either, as they have not been out on this circuit yet with these soft tires on a slightly damp track.
Yeah. Oh ho ho.
As we watch the drivers come up here, snaking through the castle. Doesn't appear like anybody's damaged any wing, but it's very close to the wall for some of these drivers. This is going to be very fun to watch. Very, very fun qualifying session here we're going to have for Q3 to try to set the fastest lap and get on pole position here today. It may be one lap, you may have multiple, we're not sure, but these drivers probably going to be assuming they only have one fastest lap attempt here, as Walker is going to lead away from the field to start this Q3 session. Every driver out on the soft tires.
Quickly though, predictions. Who's going to take pole here today?
It's going to be Walker or Granny Boy, you'd have to say. Either of them would be fun to see. But with this rain, maybe we'll see a different driver. Maybe Cobalt will come through, or Jay Kelly or Kronos in the Alfa Romeos. Only 15 points on the season. I think one of them can surprise us here today. As Cobalt has left the session, are you going to invite him, Mooks?
I will give him an invite. Actually,
okay. Thank you,
I will
Mooks.
invite him.
We'll hop back on board with Walker here as they come through. As I give Cobalt the announcer curse, saying I think he could be the surprise for pole, he gets disconnected from the game.
Frick, you may need to. I don't think I have him on my friends list.
Walker goes purple through Sector 1. We'll be right back, folks. DRS has been disabled, so now intermediate tires are the fastest. Nobody went out on the inters, though. Everybody came out on softs. Maybe if anybody had gone out on the inters, they would have been able to set a faster time. But these soft tires, you have one go here. We'll see if any of the drivers decide to go out on the intermediate tires. We see yellow flags behind. Somebody has crashed. Granny Boy crashing. Oh, Granny Boy running deep. I don't know if he was hit from behind or what happened, but that's not ideal for Granny Boy. With the rain, I'm assuming increasing here as DRS has been disabled. Walker going to come through this final turn. Let's see where he can get to. He looks like he's grown his gap on the driver behind of D2E Kronos. Much slower times than we saw at the end of Q2 and Q1. But Walker's going to come across the line, and it's going to be a 152.9. Hopping back to Kronos. Where's he going to be? A 155.6. So a massive difference there. Hash has invalidated his lap. Ricky Starr and Naikatsi are almost touching each other. Not ideal for the two Mercedes. Sohan with a 156. Vapor coming out on the intermediate tires. And Rivas with a 159.0. Jay Kelly 158. Walker's time still almost 3 seconds faster than any of the drivers. The two Mercedes are pitting as well. And Vapor coming out on these intermediate tires may have an advantage if the rain is increasing. He may be able to go faster than some of these drivers behind. Rivas, though, has gone off the track in turn 1, trying to turn around, really struggling right now, looking like Magnifer Rigatuthen, not able to do a simple spin turn in that McLaren. He finally gets his car out, 159.0, not going to be where Rivas Island wants to be. That's probably going to be able to be beaten in wet conditions on the intermediate tires, as we have Hash, Knight, Ricky Star, and Granny Boy all in the pits, as Vapor Cobalt is coming through on the intermediate tires here. We'll have to see what kind of lap he can do on these inters. As the rain steadily increasing, it might be at max. I don't know if it's going to get harder, though. They might be going to wet conditions. Who knows? But definitely want to get a lap while you can. As we see Ricky Star, Hash, and Granny Boy have all switched to the intermediate tires. Night Cassie still in the softs, but he may be waiting to change his tire. We'll have to see. But all the drivers switching to intermediate tires, showing that it is getting a little bit damp out there. As we saw, a few drivers ran deep, invalidating laps on the soft tires, and there's some front wing on the track from Soha Matthew on his in-lap, damaging his wing. Cobalt going to hope these drivers get out of the way, as he's going to be starting a hot lap here. Cobalt trying to get the temperature into these tires. You can see him aggressively weaving side to side here, just trying to get the temperature up as much as you can. Very hard in these conditions. The chicane, normally flat out, can be very treacherous for some of these drivers as well. Drivers coming out of the pits right now. Night Catsy hopefully doesn't get in the way of Cobalt here. The Renault of Hash still in the pits, not coming out yet. So we will be waiting for him. But Cobalt starting his flying lap. Let's see how his time compares to some of the first times set by the soft tire runners.
Yeah, it should be very interesting.
Yeah, Granny Boy, it'd be... Unless he can set an amazing lap, I don't think he can beat Walker for pole. I think Walker has pole pretty much wrapped up right now. I don't think he's going to be able to go faster, seeing that DRS has now been disabled.
Yeah, I would agree with you, unless the intermediate tire is just that much faster than the soft tire in these semi or like these intermediate conditions.
Well, no DRS down that front stretch. You're going to lose a lot of top-end speed, and through the turn 2 as well. Definitely a huge advantage here. Being able to open that rear wing, remove all the downforce. Walker has come out on those intermediate tires, though. No reason not to anyway, just in case the drivers do go faster. Or you get your car set up a little bit more for these conditions. But it is parc ferme, so the driver is only able to change their on-throttle differential as well as their front wing angle, I guess I'll say. Probably increasing it just a bit here, unless you're trying to keep it in a straight line. I mean, a lot of this track is straight. Maybe lower it, and maybe you'll get lucky. Who knows? Try to remove some of that speed. Try to remove some of that downforce. Build some speed up, and just use your car to drift it with the rain. It might make you faster. Who knows? Put a little bit more wear on the tires. This Cobalt just about keeps it in a straight line. Definitely, you're going to be feeling it on every lap here. Granny Boy and Ricky start both straight back into the pits, though. Granny Boy has still yet to set a lap. And Night Catsy still back into the pits. Cobalt goes fastest on the intermediate tires.
Fastest.
A 152.3 from Cobalt. I guess I was wrong, but I did say, surprise of the day, might be Cobalt. It appears those inters are going to be faster. So a lot of the drivers are going to be racing out of the pits now on those intermediate tires, trying to improve their times. But currently, Cobalt holding pole position, 3 minutes left. So all these drivers probably just one more lap here to go. Hash currently the only driver on a hot lap. Coming through turns 3 and 4 here of Sector 1. We'll see what his time's looking like at the end of Sector 1. Doesn't have a time on the board yet. It's a 40.8 through Sector 1. Not sure how that compares. Didn't do my research on the rain races. We had a lot of rain, so I wasn't really expecting rain. But currently, Night Catsy's still in the pits. He's going to have to get out of those pits really, really quickly here if he's going to be able to get a fastest another lap in. It's going to take him. Oh! And Hash crashes, breaking his wing. He's not going to set a lap time here. Unfortunate for the Renault. Not able to be able to set a lap time. He's still in a valid lap. So his best opportunity is to cross the line here and just put a time on the board. As there's still 3 drivers behind who have yet to set a time. Knight Catsy coming out of the pits now. It's going to be very tight if he can get a lap in or not. So Walker.
Yeah, Hash.
You can see
Hash is
Walker's
probably going to struggle here.
You can see Walker's brakes, though, still overheating, even in this wet conditions. Coming to the end of Sector 1, let's see what his delta's looking like. He's currently 0.6 down on his delta, though. Not going to have DRS. It's going to lose a little bit of pace through Sector 1, but he might be able to make it up through Sector 2. We saw the DRS disabled as he was halfway through Sector 2. So definitely lost a lot of time, probably in the second half of Sector 2 and down that run down to the line. But Walker's going to be coming through here. Let's see what time he can put on the board. Cobalt, hoping he cannot improve. Cobalt trying to get a maiden pole for the Racing Point team. Coming to the end of Sector 2. He's 1.1 seconds up on his previous lap time as Walker.
Oh.
Shows you how much time you lose through that sector, Sector 2 being on the wrong tires. Probably will only improve here down to the run to the line. He won't have DRS, but it should still be a better exit out of that final turn. Should be able to keep the pace up here and steal away pole position. Let's see where it is for Walker. It's going to be pole position by 2 seconds. A 2-second faster lap for Walker. Pole position by 1.3 right now for the Williams driver. Granny Boy currently on a hot lap of 39.3 through Sector 1. A very quick lap so far. Hash did go across the line with a broken wing. Hash goes 157.7? What a lap by Hash with the broken wing. Able to go faster. It might be drying up maybe, who knows? But these drivers are setting really good times on the intermediate tire right now. I called it earlier though, Mooks. Everybody went out on the soft tires. I was surprised nobody went out on the inters. Nobody took that risk. It probably would have paid off a little bit better conditions. But overall, these drivers definitely showing there's still some pace left in. As Granny Boy goes purple Sector 2, Granny Boy might just be showing off. He might have just pit after 2 laps just to show off. Gets it across. He's going to come down to the line. And I believe this will be a pole position for Granny Boy. It's going to be tight.
Nah.
And there it is, a 150.3 for Granny Boy. Getting pole position by 0.8 of a second. Revis with a 154.4. Waiting on a few more drivers still to cross the line. Walker might be on a hot lap. Walker currently 0.3 up on his fastest lap. Purple Sector 3, but it's going to be hard to make up that much time through this final sector as it's just a straight line. Ricky Star coming across the line for P6 with his first lap on the board. Knight Catsy trying to set a lap time, but I don't think we'll be improving. We'll hop back on board with Walker as he comes to the line here. How close will it get him? Will he be able to get pole with this lap? He won't. It's a 150.6. Granny Boy secures pole position unless Knight Catsy pulls a cat out of the bag.
No. I can tell you right
Knight
now.
Catsy P4. What a lap by the Mercedes driver. Just getting to the line to start his hot lap in time. Jake Kelly unable to go faster. Must have invalidated his lap down in P10. He'll be looking to improve from that position. But the top 3 in the driver's standings, Granny Boy, Walker, and Cobalt, all at the top of the table. Knight Catsy stepping back up for the Mercedes team. Currently P3 in the constructors standings. Both Mercedes drivers into Q3 and setting pretty good laps. But overall, that rain definitely almost surprised us. Granny Boy struggled a little bit. Ricky Star with a 5-place grid penalty. We didn't see that. But a 5-place grid penalty for Ricky Star means he's going to be starting back in the field, but he'll still have to start the race on his Q2 tires since he did get through to Q3. But we'll be starting the race from 12th position. Granny Boy P1, Walker P2, Cobalt P3. No real surprises, I would say here. The biggest surprise, probably Catsy or Kronos, P4 and P5. Kronos hoping to capitalize on that qualifying performance. We saw him P4 in Monaco as well. Gonna hope to keep that race up, keep that pace up here. and actually hold the position at least, get top 5 for the Alfa Romeo team. Something they have not been able to do since, I believe, Vietnam. He got their Alfa Romeo's first points of the season since Vietnam last week in Monaco. Hopefully getting at least another 10 here, doubling his points. But it'll be very interesting to see. Connor going to be coming from the back, knowing light. Chris, P11, I believe, or Brogan and Owen Wilson in P11 and 12, having free choice here. Be interested to see what they do as well. Looks a little bit overcast, but Rivas had said in the pre-race talks that it was going to be a little bit overcast, but looked like it was pretty clear for the majority of the race.
Yeah, close to start time. Should be interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in to round 8 of the Savior 6 Racing League here at the Baku City Circuit for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Granny Boy setting a lap on his final lap of 3 in Q3, getting his first lap on the boards. It was good enough for pole positions in the wet conditions, no less. Able to get that lap on the board. Walker was able to secure P2, unable to go faster than Granny Boy, improving on his every lap he did, but unable to beat Granny Boy. Cobalt, we thought, had the pole position locked away for a second, but still hung on for P3. Knight Katzi back in P4 for the Mercedes. Kronos has been showing up very well as a full-time driver recently in P5 in the Alfa Romeo. Rivas Island, P6 for the McLaren team. Soham Matthew in the Ferrari, down in P7. P8 for Hash after breaking his wing in the qualifying session, but moving up 1 position due to Ricky Starr's 5-place grid penalty. Jay Kelly, P9, both Alfa Romeos, making it through and staying in the top 10. Brogan Morris and Owen Wilson, P10 and P11, the first drivers with free choice of tires. We'll see what tires are on here real quick. They're both on the hard tires. So definitely a different strategy. Ricky Starr on those softs as he had to be. Chief Chris on the soft tire as well with a free choice. HFM Ethan on the hard tires. Knowing Light from P15, the only medium runner outside of the top 3. So that is an ideal strategy for him as he'll be on the opposite of everybody else around him. Might be good to move him up in the field, hopefully not down. RB Draco down in P16 for the AlphaTauri team. Prince with Renault P17. Tiveron James in P18. Bray Train subbing for Purple Catfish after his podium finish in Monaco. Subbing in, starting in P19. And JST rounding out our field in the Williams, starting from P20. He can only go up from there. As we wait, Mooks, who is your driver to watch for the day?
I think I'm gonna go with Knowing Light. Opposite strategy to everyone around him, and he's been quick here before, so I'm definitely gonna be watching him.
All right, well, you heard it here first. It'll be very, very exciting start. Baku has been known to have some chaos in the first couple turns. Very fast turns into very hard braking zones. Hopefully everybody can get through clean here. Didn't have any safety cars in the Netherlands or Spain, but here at last week at Monaco had 3 again. So hopefully we can get rid of that streak. 26 laps though here. We wait for the final car to take its grid slot. JST lines up, and the race is broken. It's probably Cobalt then.
We're away. AT, we are away and racing,
Oh,
but
god damn. I can't watch anybody right now.
yeah, I know. I'm locked onto one person. I'm locked onto Knowing Light.
Alright, do you want to leave and rejoin?
I'm
locked onto
people are
Tiburon
having
James.
Problems.
I can't control my
Frick,
car.
we need a restart, don't we? Fuck.
I mean, I'm not...
No, some people can't control their car. Night Cassie cannot
It's only Night
control his car.
Catseek that can't control his car right now. I don't see anybody else popping up on here.
Here, yeah, re-invite me, please.
Alright, and then you'll have to re-invite me. You can't leave?
Session.
You can't quit to the main menu?
Nope.
Well, I'm sitting staring at the front stretch right now, so this is a great broadcast. What is going on? Oh my god.
So, how's your day been?
Currently, Walker leading the field. Granny Boy! Where's Granny Boy? I don't even see him. Granny Boy is down to 7th position. I'm looking at the race director. That's the only way I can tell what's going on.
I'll give you a POV of Knowing Light. You know?
We're looking at the fans here in Baku. They don't look very excited right now. Waiting for the drivers to get here. Maybe the... Oh, and the lady does begin to clap here as the drivers come through down the front straightaway. Mooks, are you in the lobby? Are you in the race?
Yeah.
Can you invite me?
Are you? Yeah, I can.
I'm gonna leave.
Oh,
and
but
rejoin.
Knowing Light has just...
I can't quit to main menu either.
I think it's broken. It might be...
I think it's just us, probably. I'm gonna close the application and restart the browser.